9 News Plus weather sponsored by Carrier Colorado. The future of home comfort is here.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus on this Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and it looks like we're going to be dealing with some more showers and storms this afternoon. First time in a few days that we've been dealing with a fairly widespread chance for some of those showers and storms. I think at this point we will be talking about a few, maybe one or two severe storms, but the overall severe risk, it's a marginal risk. I think that pretty accurately describes what we're looking at for this afternoon and early this evening. But for us right now, still got a lot of wildfire smoke overhead. The good news is this is already starting to get pushed out on off to our north and east. This is, of course, some of that lingering smoke from those Canadian wildfires. This smoke will get pushed off to our north and east as we head through the day today, and where you see much better conditions over the next couple of hours. Things already, I know it still doesn't look great out there, but things are already much better than they were this time yesterday and throughout much of the day yesterday as well. Meantime, this is the view from Denver right now. Quick note, and we can hear it here at our 9 News studios, the tornado sirens are being tested right now. That is just a test, but the tornado sirens are being tested right now here in the city of Denver. That there is no active severe weather ongoing. I wish they wouldn't do the test on a day where we do have a threat for some storms, but that's a complaint for another day. Meantime, headlines, we do have the risk for some stronger storms this afternoon, as I mentioned, between about 1 and 6 p.m. That smoke moves off to our north and east, and we start a fairly overall stormy pattern today. Here's the reason why. So the reason that we're getting the smoke that's pulling away from us and moving to our north and east is because we've got an area low pressure and an area high pressure kind of converging in basically the right spot. What's going to happen is we're going to get more of a southwest push to the wind. Now the smoke, as you might know, again coming from northern Canada, which means if we're getting a southwest wind, it's coming away from where those fires are going. So that's going to push that smoke on out of here and back up into the Dakotas and perhaps back up into Canada as we head over the next little while. Satellite and radar picture right now, you can start to see, again, notice that you can see that southwest push to that wind, and that's what's going to lead to also an increase in moisture, but also dissipating smoke levels as we head through the afternoon and the evening, and by tomorrow morning it should be basically smoke free here across eastern Colorado. But with that, we do have a marginal risk for severe storms along the I-25 corridor, including the entire Denver metro area. So for this afternoon, this evening, good idea to have the car in the garage or the carport if you have access to one. Again, today is definitely a good day for that. I don't think most of us will not see a severe storm, but I think we have one or two storms that could develop that could lead to some severe storms. And by the way, already starting to see some of that active weather for us here into the high country. Got one storm on up by kind of Copper Mountain, Frisco, Silverthorne. That storm moving its way off to the north and east. Had some pretty decent rain up by Leadville in the last little while, and that same storm and that same complex of storms moving off to the north and the east. Also starting to see those first storms fire on up by the Cameron Peak burn scar. So northwest Larimer County, as well as northwestern Boulder County, that'd be up by Allens Park, as well as Estes Park. We're seeing those first storms start to get going, and those will eventually move their way down into the Front Range over the next couple of hours. So by 2, 3, 4 o'clock, I think that's when our main time window will be for any strong to severe storms for us in the urban corridor. Highest chance for seeing some of those severe storms will probably be on the Palmer Divide and the southwest foothills, but still have that chance for seeing a severe storm or two here in the immediate metro area as well. Come later on this evening, still one or two showers, storms hanging around, but I think we should mostly start to clear things on up by about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. So a close look in here at the metro area and what we can expect. Again, that risk for severe storms will be highest for us between about 1 and 5 p.m. for us in the metro area, and probably a slightly higher risk as you head south and east of the metro area. As those storms roll off the foothills, it takes a little time for them to kind of develop and fully reach their kind of maximum potential. And so that's why usually the east side metro area tends to see those strongest storms in a setup like today. And that's what we're looking for from DIA on east. Highest potential for seeing a strong severe storm or two. But then we'll still see some leftover showers for tonight, and those will clear on out this evening. Temperatures right now mostly in the 60s and 70s on the eastern plains, 50s and 60s into the high country. And today, 76 are our current forecast. I may bump this down a little bit just because those clouds have been fairly pesky and we got those storms moving on in over the next little while. Storms between about 2 and 6 tonight. Clearing skies, temperatures in the low 50s for us. And then for tomorrow, similar to today, basically rinse, lather, repeat, though with less smoke in the morning, and still a chance for seeing some of those storms for tomorrow. Once again, a marginal risk from I-25 on east, including basically the entire Denver area. And for tomorrow, the storms, again, high, I think a slightly lower risk for severe storms for tomorrow, but we'll see those around 4, 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Rainfall amounts, could get a couple of rounds of rain and got another chance for some storms coming up on your Friday as well. As I mentioned, we're entering a fairly active period coming up here over the next little while, and that includes today. 7-day forecast. Once we get past that, temperatures mostly in the 70s for the next few days. Highest risk for storms will be today, tomorrow, and Friday. And then a bit more hit or miss with those storms by the weekend and the early part of next week. One thing to keep an eye for, it is already Denver's 6th wettest May on record. We're probably going to add a bit to this rain gauge as we head over the next little while, and that means we'll probably move into the top 5, maybe even into the top 3 wettest Mays on record here in Denver as we head over the next few days. And again, we got basically an active pattern which could lead to another quarter, half, maybe even full inch of rainfall over the next few days or so for us across the metro area. Meantime, again, top line takeaways: smoke moves out of here today. Rainfall, I should say, severe storm threat starting around 1, 2 o'clock or so. Highest threat will be south and east sides of the metro area, and hail and even flash flooding are main concerns with any storms that develop for today. And then we'll see those storms dissipate around 8, 9 o'clock tonight, with maybe 1 or 2 leftover storms for the evening. Tomorrow and Friday looking pretty similar to today, maybe slightly lower rain chances for the upcoming weekend. I'll have another update for you coming up at 9 News at noon and at 2 p.m. here on 9 News Plus. And then meteorologist Lauren Robinson will be in at 4 and 5 this afternoon. And then we'll have meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 6, 9, 10 tonight on the 9 News family of networks, tracking all this active weather for you right here on 9 News and on 9 News Plus. Once again, I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. See you right back here on 9 News at noon.